All right,
There.
cool.
Cool, cool.
And we're live in MLO Net.
Awesome, awesome. Hi, friends. Hi, Bill Clayton. Hi, Mr. Zelinki, Melissa, Mitch, Patricia. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. We know this was a little bit impromptu. You didn't see a ton of notice. We, put a little event and a couple emails out there. TJ and I did something called the Survivor Series last year. Brought in a ton of cool loan officers that shared how they were going to make it through last year. A lot of the folks we interviewed last year, actually, looking back, actually had good years.
Yeah, really good years.
They followed their own advice. Some of them like doubled and tripled their business, and many folks tuned in to that series, watched the content, and kind of made some improvements, adjustments in their own business. So we want to keep it going. We're changing up a little bit. This is the revival series. Like, guys, we're reviving the loan officer. Loan officer is not going to get beaten down anymore. We're stepping back up. We're going to lead. We're going to be the folks getting the right message out there, helping consumers, putting a little bit less panic into the consumer's mind, and trying to get people to understand the housing is one of the best ways to build wealth, manage debt, all of those kind of really important themes. So today we're going to start the revival series with a little bit of a dive into lead generation, how to have more contacts, how to manage more things than you thought you could manage at one time, and how to do it with a little bit of tech, a little bit of tools, and a little bit of smarts, something like that, right, TJ?
Absolutely. Well, very little bit of smarts when it's you and I leading the charge here, right?
Well, our smarts is that we listen to people smarter than us, and we sometimes take their advice and share their advice with you, and we grow by doing that. Hey, Dave Zelinki, I'm going to turn ring light on here. I got a little bit of shadow going on. TJ, are you going to run this from a quick slide deck, or are we just going to do question style back and forth?
Yeah, let's start. We're going to do a 30,000 foot overview from a slide deck. What we want to talk about today is a topic that we have seen coming up more and more in MLO Net, which is really my background, which is lead generation. So many times we're seeing this question of, have you heard of company X? Should I buy from company Y? What are your thoughts on company Z? Right? Where do I get more leads? And Fish, you and I have had this discussion many, many times. Whenever we start to see that, what's that say? That says I'm not doing my job, as one of the admins of MLO Net and sharing my expertise and my background in the world that I live in right now. So we kind of wanted to give a quick 30,000 foot overview of, if you're going to incorporate any type of consumer direct marketing, lead generation into your business, which, by the way, we believe you absolutely should. What we're seeing out there, what you can do, what you should look for to be successful with this, what type of results you should expect as well. So anything else that to add to that?
Well, we all see
Professor
people all
Fisher?
the time asking about the CRM, like which CRM should I use, and how am I going to use my CRM better? And certainly that kind of just plays into this concept of, you got a lot of people that come into your world, into your funnel, if you will, and you got to find a way to stay in front of them. You got to find a way to move them along, and hopefully you get a chance to talk to them when they're closer to a buying decision, or are ready to pull the trigger on something. But in many cases, you don't get that decision, and the decision happens months and months and months down the road, and so you need to be able to keep contact with people. And that's the question we see all the time in MLO, and then it's all, whoa, how do I use my CRM better? What CRM should I use? All that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, speaking of that, and this is completely off of what we're talking about here today, but a lot of people do say, the CRM, what CRM is the best? What should I use? And there's always that snarky comment, and we have made that ourselves many times, right? The CRM that you'll actually use, right? But it is true. If you can find, John Thomas is one of my best friends. He's my mentor. I always thought I was a really good loan officer until I started working with him, and then I realized I was just like everybody else. Like, he turned me into a really good loan officer and a really good business person as well. His business is built in Bonzo. Not Bonzo. Salesforce, Jungo. I hate Jungo. I hate Salesforce, but he's built his business out and he utilizes it. So for me, it's what I learned from him is, if you can find a system that you can build around your business, whether it's our version, which is LO acceleration, right? Or it's Salesforce or Jungo, which is built obviously on Salesforce, or Zoho or something like that. If you have the ability to take some time to build a system that fits your particular business model, that's the best CRM. When you try to go ahead and fit your or someone else's business model into yours, that's typically where we're not as successful. Right, Fish? Like me just saying, hey, Ross Mortgage should do business this way because this is how John Thomas and Primary Residential does it, or this is how Zach Sullivan and the direct lending team do it. Right? That doesn't work.
Yeah, like some MLOs have the magic spreadsheet that they've been using for decades, and somebody's trying to tell them, "Hey, you shouldn't use your magic spreadsheet anymore," and their whole business falls apart because their system is, I get somebody, I write them here, then I put notes here, then I go back every week at the end of the week and I kind of move them along in my spreadsheet and remember when I should contact them. Cool, if that works for you, then do it. That's
Right.
the point that we're getting at.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So all right. Anyway, let's go ahead and pop into this. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Full disclosure, this is kind of our overview of our demo presentation for Leads Academy and One Officer Acceleration. I'm going to go ahead and kind of breeze through a lot of this. Fisher, you seen the screen?
I got you, man. Yep.
Cool. Seeing the actual screen and not my screen with all my notes
Yes,
on it
sir.
to make me sound like I'm smart.
I see the screen that says LO Acceleration. Yep.
All right, cool. All right, so basically what we're talking about, One Officer Acceleration, again, that is our lead generation platform. It's built on the high level platform. We have been utilizing it since end of 2019, early 2020. We've been part of that. So, really when we talk about lead generation, we really see, let's go ahead and get past all there's Ash, there's Fish, right? Here, this one I want to focus on. Problem with leads. When you're doing any type of lead generation, whether you're doing it yourself or whether you're buying it from somebody, we see three main issues. One, lead quality, right? These leads suck. They all have bad credit. Two, you've heard this from the marketers time and time again, right? Speed to lead. If you buy a bunch of leads and you're not having success, Fisher, whose fault is it if you're not having success? Who always gets the blame?
Oh, the marketer, 100%.
Wrong. The loan officer. The person that's working the lead always gets the blame.
It's always a marketer's fault. No, I know.
You're not working the lead hard enough. You're not doing enough time. You're not getting to it quick enough. And by the way, a lot of times that is true, right? But we hear that. Three, lead conversion time. We've heard this a lot over the last year and a half or so, right? That contact to contract time is just way too far apart. I get a lead in, I pay the money for the lead, I bust my butt to work the lead and convert the lead, get them pre-approved, get them to a real estate agent, and now I'm setting my clock, not necessarily to get closed and get paid, I'm setting the clock to go ahead and update docs and credit, right? Because it's taken 6 to 9 months for people to go under contract. So when am I going to see an ROI? Those are the three main issues that we see when it comes to lead generation. Most importantly, in my belief, is seeing an ROI from that lead generation. So we focus on fixing lead quality. That's kind of our big step. And I want to kind of show you what we do at Leads Academy. And you can do this in your own business, by the way. So we believe most mortgage marketing fails because the focus is either on the loan officer, where it's a branding piece, which we also do, right? But we don't think that should be your primary focus, or it's on too specific of an audience, right? And Fish, you and I have had this conversation time and time again. We love the concept of niches make riches, but in today's advertising market, we're really focused on casting that wide net, right?
Yeah, we were just talking about that yesterday on a veteran mortgage advisor call. How, the folks at Veteran Mortgage Advisor, they want veterans in their community within a certain mile of their office that are going to buy houses like in the next 30 days. But at some point, that targeting gets so narrow that it's kind of hard for the social media algorithms to figure out where to send their ads and how to get them connected to the right people. And that some of the folks who are really having success with the ads, whether it be for consumer direct classes or for classes to agents, actually are starting with fairly large areas and fairly open-ended ad targeting, and they're letting the algorithm eventually find what they're looking for over time, right? Something like that.
That's what we do. We focus on broad interest ads that lead to qualification surveys. So the majority of the lead generation agencies that are out there, they focus on either lead quantity or lead quality. You'll hear both when you're out there shopping, looking for someone to do your leads for you, or that's going to teach you, the secret sauce to generating leads, quantity or quality. So the lead quantity method, this is basically Facebook lead ads, TikTok lead ads. That's the lead form, Instagram, you get a name, email, and phone number, right? So what are the cons? Low quality, very low contact rates, low referral opportunities. Pros, the exact opposite, low cost, high volume. And if you're good at working these leads, you can see a high return on investment on that because you're spending $2, $3, $4 per lead. If you work them, you convert that into a closed loan, you're looking at, a 10x ROI in some cases, sometimes significantly more. Now let's look at the lead quality method. It's the inverse, right? The cons is they're high cost, low volume, potential low ROI, especially if you're not good at working leads and converting them. Pros, high quality, high contact, and high referral opportunities. Right? So, Fish, which one of these two, in your opinion, is better? Is it going to be the lead quantity or is it the lead quality?
I mean, you're just setting me up for the easy answers. Obviously, you want the high quality, the high contact, the high referral opportunities. Very simple.
But how do you get that without blowing out your budget?
Right. And that's the challenge, is that sometimes when you're trying to get the high quality, you go, oh my gosh, these are costing me 20, 30, 40, $50 a pop.
Yep.
So as I had hinted at a few minutes ago, it's in some cases you really need to have a larger audience to start with. You have to have some time for the ad and the algorithm to kind of sort out where your ideal client is.
And that's how what we do. So we focus on short form Facebook, Instagram, I don't have it in here, but TikTok leads, right? To attract a high volume of leads at a low cost. From there, we drive those leads to our smart landing pages. So landing pages with the surveys built in. That's going to go ahead and start to teach that magic algorithm who your leads and your ads should be in front of. So it gives you that quantity approach of where you're generating a lot of names, emails, and phone numbers, but it's also giving you that quality approach. You're kind of getting the best of both worlds. Now, over time, when you've been doing this for 3, 6, 9, 12 months, and you really have a smart, it's not called a pixel anymore, it's a data set, but we all refer to it as a pixel, built out that knows who should be seeing your ads for the results that you want, then you can kind of shift away from that quantity method to a straight quality method. But in the beginning, if you're just launching your first ads, you go short form lead ad to long form landing page. It's going to give you the best of both worlds from there. So, all right, let's keep moving here because we try to keep these things at 30 minutes or less, and we're already 15 minutes through. So our second piece is speed to lead, right? We've always heard speed to lead's an issue. You got to get on, you got to respond. Well, I'm here to tell you that speed to lead, it's incorrect. Speed to lead has not been an issue in over 10 years, right? Ever since Agent Legend came out, which so I'm pretty sure it was just about 10 years ago. That was the first big automated text message. Lead comes in, text message goes out. Speed to lead has not been an issue. What has been the issue is speed to lead response, right? It's when that lead is engaging with you, you need to be able to engage with them. The fact is, a lot of us aren't able to do that. We know we should, but we're on Revival Net calls, or we're doing a pre-approval, we're networking, or with our family. God forbid we spend some time with our family, right? Look at this. Based on MIT research, 394% increase if you engage with a lead within 1 minute of them engaging with you. That's insane. You know who does this better than anyone I know? Zach Sullivan. People always ask, what's Zach's secret? How does he do it? Nobody works a lead like Zach does. Zach, I have access to his CRM. So I'll be watching him. I'll know who will be like on the golf course at a charity event. I'll see a lead respond to an automated text message, and I'll see Zach responding to it back. That's how he's so good at lead conversion.
So he has the automation goes out, but then he jumps into the automation, takes over, right?
You're right. Once, so the first message goes out, be like, or the 10th message or the 20th message, be like, hey, Fish, just checking in with you. And you're like, oh, yeah, no, I am ready to buy.
Yeah.
That's when you need to be engaging with that lead.
That's kind of like when you and I were working together and you had the virtual assistant helping me with my agent partners. Once the conversation got started, I would tell the virtual assistant, hey, this is a good conversation. Let me go ahead and take over after, and so you're not relying on the computer or the virtual assistant or the AI or whatever to be you all the time. You're allowing it to get to the point where someone is talking to you and then you're figuring out how you can jump into that tack and take over at the right time, something like that, right?
Yeah, no, not at all. But now 100%, right? But no, what we're talking about here is the automation's going out. It's sending those automated text messages at specific times. When that lead replies to you, that's when you need to take over.
Right.
Right. So, but how do we do that? Well, you just mentioned it, right? Conversational AI. ChatGPT, OpenAI has been an absolute game changer with this. Your conversational AI, you can program it that if you don't respond within a minute, it takes over and starts having an actual honest to God conversation. Right. This is a live example. This is a real example of an AI that came in on one of our real estate ads. Responding to the lead. Hey, what are 2 to 3 features? 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a pool. Great. Home for lease 2. They're reiterating a full conversation. And the best thing is you can program these bots to sound like you. They get smarter over time. And if you do it the right way, they can even read your calendars and book directly into your calendar for you. So now we've just solved lead quality. We've solved the speed to lead piece. The third piece is how do we do our lead conversion time, right? So boom, it's all about the giver's game mentality. And Fish, we started MLO Net based off of a giver's game mentality concept, right? It's always been, how do we focus on sharing and giving? That's what we do. We take these leads that our systems are generating, that our AI bots are following up on. And we know that until affordability improves, until inventory improves, we need to make sure we're maximizing those leads for what you've always called the 30-day money, right? So how can we leverage those leads to generate additional business? So here's one. Again, this is based off the direct lending team. Full disclosure, I work for the direct lending team. This is a 5-month lead generation test that we did. This was based on referrals out to real estate agents, leads that we referred out to real estate agents, 16 closed buyer deals, 6 closed seller deals, 4 listings signed. Those are actual, honest to God, real numbers of business that we sent out. So if you want to go ahead and start leveraging lead generation, use lead generation in your business, again, my advice to you is no matter what the gurus tell you, don't count on that to be your paycheck in 90 days. Right? Don't say this lead that comes in today is going to be a paycheck in 90 days. You need to leverage the lead as currency, right? And that's where social media comes into play. That's where attracting the agents comes into play. That's where sharing these leads with the agents come into play. That's something that if you've attended one of our 100K classes, you've seen that we teach all the time. We're teaching agents how to leverage social media to go ahead and build their business. Here's, by the way, we just want to share this post. Anyone, if you want to start building out your referral list, this post right here always gets tons of comments. It allows you to start having that engagement and building an attraction, having those conversations with agents. So, all right. And I want to stop this right here, Fish, because I've done a ton of stuff in 15 minutes or so. And plus we're getting into the sales part of the presentation here, which this isn't about, right? What we really want to talk about today was, if you're going to be incorporating lead generation into your business, best demonstrated practices to make it as successful as possible. We don't want to see MLO Net members going out there paying a fortune for people who are setting unrealistic expectations on what you're going to achieve, especially when you can do it yourself. We got free training right here in MLO Net on how to do a lot of this stuff, right? So, all right, Fish, what am I missing here, bud?
Well, I think a lot of the people really kind of get scared about the tech, number one, and then number two, I think they expect to get a lot of results with a super low budget. You know, I'm
Mhm.
gonna spend $1 or 2 a day for 30 days, and then I'm gonna say it didn't work, and I spent $50 and I didn't get anything. You know, what kind of budget is realistic, and what kind of tech does somebody really need to have some success with this?
So depending on the ad types that you're doing, you can get away with as little as $10 a day. You can get away with now. That's if you're doing $10 a day. That's
Probably better like open-ended ads, right? Like
yeah. So we get
I
$10 a
found
day. We want to do something like a homes list ad. We want to do a list of homes for sale. We want to do, support some agents with some listing ads. That's not really going to be specific, mortgage specific, get pre-approved, right? That's going to be supporting agents, generating leads, lots of contacts, getting into our funnel, letting that AI, letting our smart surveys start to generate business to send our way. What's really cool about that, you can build your smart surveys and your conversational bots out to say, hey, are you currently pre-approved? So you're leveraging real estate leads, which generate the cheapest leads. Lowest contact also, right? Let's be clear. But we can teach this automation. Are you pre-approved? And if someone says no, then it can start to flow down a path that's going to point them to you, the loan officer. So now you've taken this real estate lead, you've leveraged it into a mortgage lead. Now you can also leverage that lead. Hopefully, you get it pre-approved, and you can go ahead and share that with an agent of your choice, someone who does business. Someone that you've looked at their numbers. They do 6 to 10 buy sides per year with mortgages. Right? You can get in there and you can share a good quality lead with them and ask for business in return. So now, while you have this lead that you just worked, out there in your database, hopefully getting the process started, hopefully getting it out there, you're also sharing that content with an agent. You can request, you've earned the right to ask for their 30-day business in return. That's how you take lead generation and you start to see an ROI on it today. That's how we shrink that conversion time down. And I know that's kind of like a big thing. We see a lot of ads about this, right? But
I've
again,
seen this
that's what this was built off of 2017.
I've seen this in like many like different programs and coaching programs and LO conversations. Like if you can sort out a way to give the agents back an opportunity, whether it's through lead generation or working to get more referrals out of their buyers or whatever, and you're coming back to them and saying like, hey, here's a person that's pre-approved that hasn't talked to you yet, or a person that's ready to list that you haven't talked to yet, you can get past a whole lot of gatekeepers. You can get past, some of the pay to play relationships. You can get to work with the agents you want to work with, specifically because you're such a good marketer that you found a way to generate what they need, which is, solid, interested buyers and sellers.
I had
And
an agent say to me, this was a couple months ago. I mean, probably even longer, probably, last fall. We delivered a quality lead to him, and he was like, wow. He's like, something? You're the first loan officer that I've spoken to that's promised me leads and referrals that's actually delivered.
Mhm.
And
Well,
it was nothing. It was in Fish. Honestly, we ran a homes list ad to one of our surveys. Our AI if they filled out the survey, our AI got involved and booked an appointment. Right. And I just happened to look at it. I'm like, oh, this person's in Annapolis. Picked up the phone, was the agent I had spoken to a couple of weeks earlier. I was like, hey, it's TJ. Just want to let you know, I got someone. Yeah, I got someone that's in your area. This is where they are. You interested in working in it? And honestly, he wasn't, but he referred to a member of his team because he was a team lead. And he said, the lead wasn't his, who he works with, but he had buyer's agents who he could feed that to. It's like, hey, you were the first loan officer that's actually delivered. That's huge.
yeah, and that's
Huge.
like I said, you can get past a lot of the other objections that are out there, and like
Now I've done a terrible job of following up with him, just to let you know. Absolutely awful. Like absolutely awful job of that. And I guess that's the other thing.
But you could get away with that, and you could also get away with not being the best loan officer on the planet. I close all my deals in 16 days, and you could be like, ah, man, I close mine in 25 to 30 most of the time. But hey, here's another contact for you, and guess who he's going to keep using?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like if I want to, and I do, because, I've said it, I'm about 14 days from starting to originate again. Yep. Fingers crossed. But I'm just going to turn some ads on. It's targeting this guy's, area. I'll be, strategic about it. Put a couple $100 into it, target his area. I want to get one or two more really good leads like that. And I want to warm the relationship back up. And then I want to follow up as I should have in the beginning. It's very simple. Very simple.
All right, so let's go to this MLO Net Revival Series. Next week, Jimmy Hobson is coming on. Jimmy Hobson has done a lot of the things that TJ's talked about when it comes to lead generation. He's done a lot of things I've talked about over the years when it comes to branding yourself as a VA specialist, learning the product, doing knowledge-based marketing, actually walking the walk and crushing loans when they come in. And we're excited to have him next week. We're going to share his story about how he just stared last year down and just said, I'm not participating in any of this crazy negativity. I'm going to have one of my best years ever. And so is my team.
I met with Jimmy this morning.
Yeah.
Dude's a machine. It's funny. It's so funny. I mean, if you go back in the Leads Academy, we actually had a strategy that Jimmy taught us back in 2017, October 2017. He shared this with us. It's still one of our fundamental classes back from 2017. And here we are in 2024. It still works, right? It's crazy, to see where he was when it was like, man, I was just struggling, to get some traction to now, he's, had a branch that closed almost $500 million, not a company, a branch in 2023. Like it's
maybe you guys can share some of that class with us next week. So
yeah. So real quick, you mentioned something about technology. Again, we utilize what we call LO acceleration. Again, built on the high level system. Anyone who has used high level knows it's awesome. Like it does so many cool things for you. It's your entire technology stack right there, from websites to social posters to automated. You can have your bots built into it, your automated text message, email. You can build it out as a CRM on there. But when it comes to launching ads, we have adopted, and so a lot of people have as well, this ad launcher system, which is really, really easy. So again, and we have a lot of our ads right here in MLO Net. You can go ahead and watch the free training. We'll walk you through how to do the business manager, set up your business account, run your ads, connect it to automation, do your images, etc. Our clients have access to this, where they can come in here. Let's just say they want to do a mortgage ad, right? Right. Boom. I want to do a HELOC ad. Get one of those no doc HELOCs that people keep that are posted about here in MLO Net. Right. So boom. I'll do $5. MD online. And I'm done. My ads are launched. Like now all I have to do is just connect it to my follow-up sequence, which is already built out. And, boom, I just come in here. This account's probably not set up for it, but you come over here, you go to integrations.
Yeah, you're not set up because you quit writing loans because you were doing so much of this for other people. So you got to actually put your own contact info back in there.
Yeah, I got to connect this account back up to it. But basically, you just fill out two more fields right here and connect it. And your follow-up sequences are set up. My AI bots are set up, and all that type of stuff. So, I'm such a huge believer in lead generation and it being a foundational piece of your business, a supplemental piece of your business if you need it right there. But it can, if done right, and that's the key, it has to be done right. When it's not done, all those things, those complaints we looked at in the beginning of the slide presentation, we always hear them, and they're right. So if we know that those are the challenges, you've got to work around. You got to adapt to those challenges. How do we do that? And this is what we've been doing for about 6 months. And guess what? This might change in 3 months, and we'll adapt again, and we'll adapt again. I want to go back to where we were in 2020 and 2021, where all we did was run long form mortgage leads. We ran long form mortgage leads, cost us about $15 per lead. We were pre-approving about 1 out of 10. Right? When we were And that was because also we were in lockdown, so we were making like really high contact rates also. But our normal is about 1 out of 20. So if I'm spending, what's that, $300 for pre-approval? I want to get that all day long. But it's not there right now, right? That's not where the market is. It's not where the lead generation market is. That's not where our mortgage market is. That's not where our real estate market is. So, we want to adapt and really focus on what's going to give us the biggest bang for our buck. What can we leverage to see the highest ROI to help us build our business? So
I like it, man.
that's all I got.
That's all we got. That's all we got. We'll put this out there. The recording will be up for a while.